Ancient beasts once thought extinct, aliens walking among us, and creatures that shift form before our very eyes.
Oh my god, what the man?
Hang on, because these are the most disturbing yet captivating encounters with terrifying creatures that shocked the entire world.
What the hell?
A lady was sitting in her backyard when she spotted something very creepy. She saw a bird-like creature that resembled an owl, but when she looked closely, she realized something was off. It didn't move or blink, just sat there on the grass, not going anywhere. That made her even more curious. The longer she watched, the more it seemed like this wasn't an owl at all.
What the hell?
She wondered if it was some undiscovered species or a completely new creature. Well, what could it be? Let me know in the comments. Welcome home.
Oh my god.
A video uploaded online went viral for a shocking reason. It showed a man encountering a creepy, dark being standing behind his window. It looked like a prehistoric creature with weird eyes, just staring at him. But dinosaurs don't exist anymore. So how was this possible? It could be some prehistoric being, unrevealed until now.
Oh my god.
Maybe it had run from the nearby woods. Whatever it was, he decided to stay inside and not check any further, at least for now. Glowing eyes. In Brazil, some hikers came out of the woods when they saw a giant rock, but inside it, they spotted something strange. A creature with glowing eyes, unlike any known being. It didn't move, just stayed there, staring directly at them. They thought it could be an undiscovered animal or bird adapting to the darkness. Or maybe one of the mythical beings from local legends. As they slowly backed away, its eyes never shifted. It didn't chase them, but its stare was enough to send a clear message: leave and never return. Reptilian hybrid. Late at night, locals saw something that left them speechless. A being with a human-like face, but a dark reptilian body. It stood motionless, its glowing eyes locked onto them. Some believed it was an alien, a strange hybrid of species never seen before. Others whispered it could be a jinn, lurking in the night where such entities were said to appear. As they backed away, the figure didn't move, yet an eerie feeling washed over them as if it was waiting for something. Whatever the truth, the sight of it was enough to keep people from walking alone in the dark. Bizarre creature. In a Chinese village, locals came across a pale creature with big, bulging eyes. It didn't look like anything they had ever seen before. Unsure of what to do, they decided to report it to experts. After an inspection, the shocking truth came out. It was an alien. That's right, an actual alien found on Earth. If one had appeared, could there be more nearby? Maybe it had arrived with a purpose, or perhaps others were already watching from the shadows. Orange salamander. Think of encountering a creature that looks like it came straight from the age of dinosaurs. Well, that's exactly what happened when people spotted a salamander. But not just any salamander. This one was bright orange and found in a small waterway. It turned out to be the Chinese giant salamander, the largest amphibian in the world. These creatures can grow up to 1.8 meters long and weigh up to 30 kilograms. Studying its habitat and behavior could reveal secrets about its survival. More importantly, its discovery gave hope that this critically endangered species could still thrive if given the right protection. Peculiar creature. A video uploaded online showed a tiny creature covered in soft brown fur, measuring around 15 to 35 centimeters. It looked so adorable that people couldn't stop watching. But what was it? Turns out it was a silky anteater, one of the smallest anteaters in the world. Unlike its larger relatives, this little one spends its life high up in the treetops, blending perfectly with its surroundings. Despite its small size, it has mastered survival in its own way, proving that even the tiniest creatures can thrive where they belong. The internet may have just discovered it, but in the wild, it has been living its life all along. Fairy armadillo. In the desert sands, a group of researchers spotted a tiny creature digging. At first, it looked like a hamster, but a closer look revealed something unusual. Its soft, silky fur and small shell peeked above the sand as it moved quickly. This wasn't just any animal, it was a fairy armadillo, one of the rarest creatures in the world. Living mostly underground, it rarely comes into view, making this sighting incredibly special. The researchers watched in surprise, knowing how few ever got the chance to see one. With its habitat shrinking, finding and studying it has become even harder. Alien chased by coyote. A local stepped outside when an unusual sight caught his eye. A coyote was chasing a strange, skinny being with a pointed, beak-like face. The creature moved fast, jumping over a dustbin and vanishing. The coyote searched around, but finding nothing, it eventually gave up and left. The local stood frozen, trying to process what had just happened. Then, out of nowhere, the creature flipped out from inside the dustbin and hurried away. It had been hiding there all along, resembling some alien. If one was here, there could be more out there too. Scary intruder. A house owner's sleep was disturbed by something terrifying on his bed. As he opened his eyes, he spotted a strange creature moving slowly toward him. It had a humanoid face and hands, but its lower body wasn't human. It had a tail. Its movements were unsettling. He had no idea what it was or how it got there. It might be some bizarre cross between a reptile and a human. Maybe it had escaped from a nearby lab. He wasn't going to stay to find out. Without wasting a second, he jumped out of bed, leaving the creature behind. Graveyard encounter. Visitors at a graveyard couldn't believe their eyes as they saw a creepy bird on a gravestone. It looked furry, and after being seen, it slightly raised its fur as a warning. It appeared to be an owl to them. What made it even creepier was that it wasn't leaving the grave. The visitors believed it might have belonged to the person whose body was in the grave on which it was sitting. That's why it wasn't leaving. Or there was some other reason for that. Whatever the case, its presence on the gravestone left them unsettled. Mole rat. A local came across a small creature in his garden. What made it strange was that it had no eyes. It looked like some kind of mouse or rodent, but its face only had 2 big teeth. Not knowing what it was, he recorded it and uploaded the video online. Soon, he got an answer. It was a greater blind mole rat. A rare underground dweller that likely dug its way up by mistake while searching for food. These creatures spend their entire lives in tunnels, relying on their sharp teeth and strong sense of touch. After a while, the strange visitor disappeared back into the soil, returning to the darkness where it truly belonged. Big-headed turtle. An explorer was walking in the woods by the river when he suddenly noticed something strange. He reached out to touch it and found a turtle with a very big head. The man had never seen anything like it before. Curious about what kind of turtle it was, he did some research and learned it was a big-headed turtle, a rare species. Realizing its importance, he reported the sighting to wildlife experts. His discovery played a small but valuable role in raising awareness and helping to protect the species from further decline. Alien-looking creature. A local stepped outside for a walk when something made him stop. At first, he thought it was just a piece of wood, but then it started moving. It had a worm-like face, which immediately caught his attention. Curious, he recorded it and posted the video online. Many people suggested it was just a bagworm, a type of insect known for its strange appearance. But even if that was true, he couldn't shake the feeling that he had just witnessed something far more unusual. The way it moved, the way it looked, it didn't seem like any ordinary creature. Snake-like creature. Something shocking is coming your way, so hold on tight. A fisherman caught a creature that looked like a snake or worm, but had many small leg-like protrusions. It moved quickly, making it even more unsettling, but it wasn't a snake. After checking closely, it turned out to be a king ragworm. These creatures are often used as bait due to their natural movement in water. The fisherman placed it in a small bucket of seawater to keep it alive and fresh. Then, he planned to hook it onto his fishing line to attract fish. A smart move for sure. Terrifying creature. In 1996, in the village of Kaolinovi, near Kishtim, Russia, a strange small being was found lying on the road. It had an unusual skull shape and a tiny body, unlike any known human or animal. Scientists examined it and named it Alyoshenka. Some claimed it was an extraterrestrial, while others dismissed it as a hoax. Recently, old footage of the examination resurfaced, heating debates, though the being mysteriously disappeared, leaving no clear answers. To this day, many believe Alyoshenka was proof of alien life, something the world was never meant to see. Nightmarish creature. Beachgoers were shocked when they saw a strange creature washed up on shore. It looked like a giant prawn, but had many limb-like parts sticking out from its body. The most unsettling thing was that it had no head, no eyes, nose, or mouth. It could be a deep-sea creature pulled up by the waves. Others wondered if it was some kind of experiment thrown into the ocean. No one could say for sure. As people gathered around, unsure what to make of it, one thing was clear: the ocean still holds creatures we don't fully understand. Demon of water. A fisherman stood at the dock area in the river, expecting to find a big catch, but what he found was something more than that. He saw a drowning hand appear from the water, looking like a human's. As he was about to get into the water to save him, he realized it wasn't a person at all. It was a clever crocodile, pretending to be a drowning person. The moment someone tried to rescue it, the crocodile would rush toward them and take them away. What a clever trap set by the crocodile. Next time, when you spot something like that, it's better to check first before going inside. A single mistake could cost a life. Scary creature. In the depths of the Anegada Passage, a marine biologist discovered a sharp, spike-like being with many legs, and it was moving too. Yes, you heard it right. At first, they thought it might be a cactus-like plant, but when they saw it move, they realized it was none other than a Neolithides, a newly discovered species of spiky crab. They quickly took photographs, realizing their find wasn't just about a single species. It was evidence of an entire unexplored ecosystem thriving in the dark, hidden from the world until now. Creepy creature. An online clip grabbed people's attention, and for a good reason. It showed a creepy, long creature covered in fur-like strands, rolling around in a small container. People were desperate for answers. What was this bizarre thing? Experts finally stepped in and identified it as a marine segmented worm. These creatures are nocturnal hunters, spending their days hiding among rocks before coming out at night. Its unusual look had people questioning if it was something unknown, but in reality, it was just one of the many strange beings lurking beneath the ocean. Violin mantis. A local was shocked after spotting a small being walking on its hands. It had a slender body, almost like a dry stick or leaf, but it was alive. And it wasn't just one sighting. Another was seen resting on a plant, and two more appeared on an expert's hand in India. These creatures were none other than violin mantises. Their ability to mimic twigs makes them nearly invisible in the wild. As more reports surfaced, it became clear the world had just caught a glimpse of nature's strength hiding in plain sight. Mutant creature. On July 9, 2018, in China, locals came across a bizarre decomposed creature unlike anything known. It had a human-like head with what appeared to be arms and legs. At first, it seemed lifeless, but then its leg moved. It was alive. Panic spread as people hesitated to approach. One daring man finally picked it up for a photo, only to be stunned when the creature began moving its limbs. A video of the encounter quickly spread online, leaving many questioning what it could be. Some thought it was a mutant creature, but I believe it was a deep-sea creature that made it to the shore for the first time ever. Mini dinosaur?
What the f?
A hiker at his Jeep tire spotted something more than just dust. There he saw a small creature with a long neck resembling a dinosaur. But dinosaurs that size shouldn't exist anymore. As he was about to check it, he touched it with a stick, and it moved. He tried again, and it actively responded. The hiker was stunned. It could be a mini dinosaur, or maybe an undiscovered species.
Oh, dog, his mouth's open.
He decided to report it to experts, hoping they would study it and share the results. If this was truly something new, it might change what we know about wildlife. Strange behavior.
Millipede gibuhin, all these millipedes.
In Mundgod, Karnataka, India, a villager saw something straight out of a nightmare. While walking, he noticed movement on the path ahead. He thought they were snakes, wriggling shapes moving together. But as he got closer, he realized they weren't snakes at all. They were baby millipedes, crawling forward in perfect unison. He stood still, watching as they passed, not daring to disturb them. It was a strange sight, one that made him wonder just how many more of these creatures were hidden in the area, moving through nature unnoticed. Zombie bug. A couple stared in shock as they recorded the strange sight. A bug was crawling across the floor, moving slowly as if struggling. But the terrifying part was that its inside was completely gone. Just an empty shell, yet somehow still moving.
It's a good thing. Probably you never had to walk through.
Experts later suggested that a parasitic fungus had taken over its body, turning it into what's known as a zombie bug. The fungus controlled its movements, keeping it alive just enough to spread further. It was a haunting reminder of how nature's strangest survival methods could seem almost unreal. Creepy entities. Homeowners were in for a shock when they discovered strange, eerie-looking birds on their roof, hiding inside the ceiling. These creatures had white fur and stood on two legs, making them look almost unnatural. Not wanting to take any risks, they called in experts to remove them. That's when the truth came out. They were just baby owls, or owlets, that had made a home in the ceiling space. How they ended up there remained unknown, but one thing was clear. Their unexpected presence had given the homeowners quite a scare before the mystery was solved. Horned snake. At a sewage area in a villager came across a terrifying sight. He saw a long, serpent-like creature, but it had horns too. But snakes don't have horns, right? Then, maybe it was the result of some experiment gone wrong, creating a horned snake. Or perhaps it was some ancient snake species only now being discovered. Sensing the risk, the villager didn't dare go near it to find out more. Dragon found. A footage from a lab started making headlines online. Let's find out why. Well, it showed a glass box with an egg inside. Near it lay a creature, giving the glimpse of a chameleon, but it had wings too. Chameleons don't have wings. It also emerged from an egg. People believed it was a dragon that seemed to be just a mythical being. But now, seeing one felt like it was more than just stories. Experts were unsure if it was real or a genetic experiment. If proven true, this discovery could change everything we know about creatures once thought to exist only in legends. Cryptid creature. In Ohio, in 2022, traffic stopped, not because of signals, but because of a bizarre creature crossing the road. It had 4 spider-like legs and a floating tail, looking nothing like any known animal. Some believed it could be an alien or a cryptid. Sightings of this strange being had been reported multiple times, leaving people unsettled. Now authorities were searching for it, believing it might not be safe to let it wander freely. Whether it was a cryptid or just a strange animal, its presence had everyone on high alert. Blackberry Lake. A fisherman was fly fishing at 12,000 feet in an alpine lake, hoping for a good catch. But what he found was nothing like what he expected. He pulled out two small aquatic beings with faces resembling blackberries. Yes, you heard that right. Their strange appearance left him puzzled. Unsure of what they were, he released them back into the water. Later, when he described the encounter, he discovered they were blackberry goldfish, an incredibly rare breed known for their unique look. The realization amazed him, knowing he had come across something truly unusual in such a high-altitude lake. Witch owl.
I'll drop you today, you never see anything.
Some friends decided to explore an abandoned house in Mexico, hoping to capture signs of ghosts. But instead, they spotted a strange owl. Something about it felt off. It moved its head in an unnatural way, almost as if it was watching them. The more they observed, the more uneasy they felt. It could be a bruja, a Spanish witch, or a shapeshifter taking the form of an owl.
I'll drop you today, you never see anything.
Sensing the risk, they didn't stay any longer. They quickly left, convinced that whatever they had just seen wasn't just an ordinary bird. Monstrous creature. Passengers stood at a subway station when they saw a sight that left them stunned. A man was holding a small baby, but it didn't look like a normal human infant. Its features were strange, a mix of human and goblin. How could such a thing exist? People were convinced that it might be a rare deformity, while others believed it could be the result of an experiment. If that was the case, then the man holding it might not be an ordinary person, but some expert transporting it for a reason. Petrified mystery. In 2011, a Russian farmer felt a powerful shake near his home. Curious, he went to check, but what he found was beyond anything he expected. Lying there was a strange figure, something that didn't belong. Its body looked stiff, almost petrified, and its features were unlike any known creature. The head shape was odd, and the limbs didn't seem right. It could be an unknown animal frozen for ages, now uncovered due to melting permafrost. Others thought it was something else, something more mysterious. With the Arctic warming, who knows what else might resurface from the ice? Terrifying creature. In Srinagar, a visitor went to see a loved one's grave. As he stood there, he noticed something unusual, a small creature inside the grave, making weird sounds. It had an odd shape, almost like Dobby from Harry Potter. Seeing anything moving inside a grave was unsettling. But this was beyond that. The thought crossed his mind. Was it feeding on the deceased? That would explain why it was there. He didn't stay long to find out. People visit graves expecting silence, but sometimes they come across things they never imagined. True horror.
¡Venga tu madre!
Sí la vieron.
Neighbors kept hearing strange noises from an old house nearby. When they went to check, they saw a figure dressed in black, moving in an unnatural way. Behind it, the walls had eerie symbols, possibly linked to a ritual or cult activity. There was a chance black magic was involved, or the figure itself was not human. The sight was disturbing, and no one wanted to take any risks.
Sí la vieron.
They locked the house permanently, ensuring nothing inside could come out. From that day on, the house remained untouched, with its secrets sealed away.
Vean esto.
Bizarre-looking creature.
Binatang langka.
A villager noticed movement near a tree and looked twice. A small creature clung to the bark, swaying as if part of it. At first, he thought it was a monkey, but its eyes told a different story. Big and yellowish. It didn't resemble any animal he had seen before. Then, in an instant, it leapt away and vanished into the trees. Later, he learned it was a horsefield's tarsier. These tiny creatures have existed for 45 million years, surviving in the shadows while countless others vanished. Hidden from sight, they continue their quiet existence, a reminder of an ancient world still lingering in the present. Hybrid creature. Workers arrived to fix a broken pipe in the sewer when one of them noticed movement. Behind the pipe, a tiny creature hid, its glowing eyes staring back. Curious, he shined his light toward it, and there it was, a small being with zebra-like patterns on its body, looking like a mix between a rodent and a bird. Was this some strange hybrid, an experiment gone wrong? Maybe it had escaped from a nearby lab and found refuge underground. Whatever the case, the sewers have always been full of secrets, and this one might never see the light of day again. Bizarre humanoid figure. In Spencer, Oklahoma, a resident spotted a strange figure moving on the roof of a house. Its movements were unnatural, almost crawling in a way that didn't seem right. At first, it looked humanoid, but in the darkness, it was hard to tell. Some thought it could have been a bear from the nearby woods. Others believed it might have been an owl, but there were those who whispered about something else, something not meant to be seen. Before he could call the authorities, it was said that it vanished. Yet, a creepy feeling lingered, as if whatever he saw hadn't really left, just waiting for the right moment to return. Eerie footage.
There's this great giant gecko in the water. Look at that thing.
While exploring a remote lake, hikers saw something strange. Under the water, they recorded what looked like a giant lizard-like head, or a gecko, but a bigger one. It could also have been a prehistoric creature that survived in the lake, or maybe a mutated species that adapted over time. Some thought it was an ancient lake guardian from old stories, but what unsettled them the most was the final seconds of the recording. The creature's eyes seemed to follow them, unblinking, as if aware it was being watched. The hikers left quickly, unsure if they had just seen something truly ancient hiding in the depths. Strange creature. A Russian fisherman was expecting the usual catch, but what he found was far from ordinary. It wasn't a fish or a turtle. Its skull was long and twisted, with features that almost resembled a face. The eerie shape gave it a strange, alien-like appearance. Maybe it was a deep-sea creature or something never seen before. But the longer he looked at it, the more it felt like it was watching him back. Keeping it didn't feel right. He decided to release it back into the water. Mystery bird. At a farm, the owner noticed a strange bird perched on the birdcage. It wasn't one of his. This bird had a long neck and bright orange fur, unlike anything he had seen before. He thought it could be a rare heron, an undiscovered species, or even a mythical bird. To find out, he took pictures and shared them online. Now, experts are searching for it, hoping to study this mysterious creature. If they find it, maybe we'll finally know what it really is. Creepy creature. Just when you thought creepy creatures were done, here's another one. A strange spider was spotted, brown, with an abdomen shaped like a manhole cover. This was the ravine trapdoor spider, lurking in Georgia, Alabama, and Tennessee. Another similar sighting appeared when a hiker saw a worm moving near a burrow. Before he could react, the ground snapped open and a spider pulled it inside. An African trapdoor spider, striking in the blink of an eye.
Look at this trapdoor spider. Look at this guy.
Later, experts found another burrow and shined a light inside. A spider glared back, this time a Euoplos trapdoor spider. It seems some creatures don't spin webs. They wait in the dark, with the ground itself as their trap.
You see he shine your torch here?
Strange sight. At the dock area, a fisherman came across a fish, but what made it strange was its human-like teeth. Yes, you heard it right. It also had black patterns on its body. After looking closely, he got to know that it was a sheep's head fish. Despite its eerie appearance, this fish is actually a good catch. Many fishermen prize it for its taste and tough fight on the line. So, he did what any fisherman would. He got ready to reel it in. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. In May 2007, a farmer in Mexico set up a trap to catch pests on his land. But what he found inside was no ordinary animal. The creature had a bizarre skull, thin limbs, and even a tail. It didn't look like any known rat or rodent. Scientists later examined it and found something shocking. Its body had features of both humans and reptiles, and its brain was unusually large. Things got even stranger when locals mentioned frequent UFO sightings in the area. The tests confirmed one thing. This wasn't any animal from Earth. The mysterious being caught in that trap could have been an alien. See you next time.